right, welcome back, everybody. New episode. It's been about 10 days. That's kind of what my time frame's been. I say that like every single time I start a podcast. Hey, this is my time frame. This is what I'm doing. Who gives a shit? It's the same shit every fucking week. This has kind of been a weird week. I was just telling my wife, I don't know what it is. I think it's probably the age. I'm getting to a point where my testosterone's running a little low. I just feel like in the gym, I'm falling apart. I'm falling apart. The workouts are shittier. Joints hurt. I'm fucking dying. It feels like I'm fucking dead. Every time I go to do a new chest workout or a new exercise during the routine, I'm like, I am fucking hurting. I'm dying. I don't feel good. Um, so one thing that just happened that I think is kind of getting me in a weird mood is my whole family, most of my family. I don't know about my youngest two because we don't really talk about it that much, but none of us like go to a doctor. If there's a problem, we don't really go to the doctor. We just let it heal. Probably, stagnate and lock up, which is the general thing that happens to anything you don't fix, like a fucking bone. You hope to God it heals correctly. Probably won't. Um, but yeah, I don't know what it was. I think just the other day, obviously it's trying to start the family. It's got to be what it is. Trying to start the family. I'm getting to a point where I got to start working on my health. I can't start having family and go, oh, you have heart disease at 34. Well, it's in the blood, it's in my grouping of genetics, I guess. So I got to be a little more careful. So I've been trying to go to the doctor. Um, I've had a back issue since I was a kid. I talked a little bit about that, but I'm trying to get that corrected so that I have a little better opportunity to just be mobile when I'm older. And the other thing I have not done is go to the fucking dentist. The last time I was at a dentist, I was 16 or 15. I had just had a tooth crack, and I let that thing just fester. My sister had the same thing happen to her. She did about the same time frame. You just let that open nerve just every time the air hit it, you're sitting there just shutting down. It's the worst fucking pain because it's in your fucking head. It's right in your mouth. It's it's the dumbest thing of all time. I just let it sit and hang out and hurt. I mean, no fixing shit. I told you, like, I'm just used to that dirt poor like feel. Even if we weren't, we had medical card as kids. Go get your shit taken care of, and we did when we were little children. When my mom was able to basically state that we had no money, and then oh my god, like I went to a dentist because my tooth cracked. I had to get a root canal. I didn't go to the doctor or the dentist for months. I'm trying to play baseball. I got an open fucking nerve in my mouth. Trying to hit. You imagine trying to hit a curveball at 15, 14, whatever age I was, and you're sitting there going, I'd have to suck in air. I don't know why, but I would, and that pain would just kind of subside after a few seconds, and I have to not breathe and try to swing. It was the, and imagine this. I wasn't fucking good. I didn't play well. I fucking sucked. I'm sitting there sucking my fucking infected tooth. And by the time I went to the dentist, he goes, "Yeah, there's a giant infection. It's like it just crawled all the way through up to the damn near to your brain, which would have been an awesome fucking problem to fix." But that's just what we did. We didn't fucking fix anything up to a point in our lives. We just didn't have I don't know, the desire. We didn't want to face the embarrassment of a missing a fucking tooth. It's disgusting. I have no idea why. But I just went to the dentist this week. Had the I had the just to check up, see how things looked. What are they going to work on? What are they going to do? And it was like I've never felt like embarrassed like that for a long time. Like, hey, it's like almost showing a girl your dick for the first time. Like it's been a while. So if I come fast, or if this isn't gonna get super super hard, it's too nervous. You're embarrassed over nothing. These motherfuckers have seen 1,000 disgusting mouths, and you're worried that someone who brushes twice a day, flosses twice a day, is gonna have an issue. Like any real concern that they haven't seen, just get over yourself. But I want to go back to, can you like the first time you show your dick to a new girl? It's nerve wracking, especially if you're sober. If you're sober and you're showing your dick to someone you love or you really like them and you don't want to embarrass yourself, like, oh, I'm worried, I'm nervous, I can't come too fast. If I come too fast, this is fucked. You're right back to that American Pie scene. I promise you, I can go again. There's more juice in the goose. I will fucking unload 15 times so that you get one out of the way. Do not care. If I really love you and I really like you, whatever, I don't know if I even really care who you are. I don't want you telling your friends I'm a fucking bad lay. I will pump you 3 or 4 times. I just wanted to say that. A lot of guys have the ability. Some guys maybe a little older. I'm getting a little older. I talked about my testosterone being a little low. I could still go 4 or 5 times. If you needed me to do 4 or 5 because I'm just doing such a bad job, I'm your dude. I think most guys would be like that. If they really wanted to impress you or didn't want to have like you be upset with how it went, oh yeah. You might have to wait a few minutes in between, smoke a cig, drink a beer in between. I don't fucking know. So I go to the dentist, and I am nervous. I was just embarrassed. I felt like a little kid. I'm 34 years old. I have a fucking full-time job. We have a house, and I'm over here going, oh my god, they're gonna say my teeth are fucked, and I'm embarrassed by that. So they're literally going like, you haven't been to the dentist like for almost half your life? I go, it's yeah, at least that amount of time. They go in and thank God they go. I have no cavity detection going on. I don't see anything wrong. You got a little bit of tartar, but other than that, yeah, you're good. Things are great. And they give me like a scale. They go 1 through 3 is normal, 4 is gingivitis, 5 is herpes. I don't fucking remember. But they go, I didn't see anything past a 3. And I'm like, holy shit. And I actually got a little scared. I was like, wait, did you say 3 was gingivitis? He goes, no, 1 through 3 is good. Because I didn't see anything in there worse than a 3. I was like, geez, that's unbelievable. He goes, yeah, you're not kidding. You got probably some decent teeth genetics, or you just do a really good job of taking care of your teeth. Well, I have to. I mean, I chew tobacco, pouches, but I have to. I don't want to deal with the financial burden of I can't chew food. I got to find food that's super soft, and sometimes super soft food it might be more expensive. Like pies, how much are pies expensive? I mean, if that's all I ate was pie because it was relatively soft and I could chew some of it, I might have some financial burden with that because it'll eventually lead to probably like diabetes and shit. So yeah, I'm talking. It could be an expensive venture for food. But I was super surprised. I go in for the cleaning. It feels like they're fucking scraping your teeth off. It doesn't feel like they're taking off calcified tartar or whatever it is. It feels like they're removing your fucking teeth. She got like right here in the middle here, on the backside. It felt like she caught the bottom of my fucking tooth and just like pulling it. I'm like, oh my god, these are the weakest fucking teeth. Like they say, the gum line there is the tightest and the smallest amount of gums. And after they told me that, she's sitting there fucking. It feels like she's trying to yank my tooth out. And I got really scared. But if she pulls it out, it's on their dime, and then I get a new tooth, and it's a fucking badass tooth. But yeah, I was very relieved that it wasn't life or death or any gingivitis or heart disease concerns. It was just, hey, you got some pretty good teeth. We're just gonna clean it up a little bit. Every 6 months, we'll get back to cleaning it out. Very lucky. But on top of that, I decided I was going to go to the chiropractor. I really fucked up my back, which I think that'll be perfect segue into not only me showing you the beer I'm drinking, Big Wave. Big Shane's not an alcoholic. It's a it's a beer. Oh yeah, Golden Ale. It's delicious. Little citrusy, little sweet citrusy. It's good. It's beer, and so about that time, my brother's playing with his dick, which is a little before this, but then, junior high, I'm a fucking piece of shit. I got shaggy hair. I'll tell this story first. We go, so this is this is kind of building on this Shane Bob Love Charlene story from I think it was last episode or the one before. Um, we go on this big trip to Washington D.C. and I think that was 8th grade summer going into freshman year. You know, um, besides the, like farting in girls' faces and shit like that, life wasn't that exciting. There's not that many things to go through. Goofy jerk off stories might be kind of fun to get into, and if I remember them, I'll tell them. Those are my favorite to tell. There's nothing funnier than you being able to face the fact that you're a fucking creep on accident. You don't even know why you're doing what you're doing. You just know that it just feels fun. Something's fun about it. The secrecy, the new sexual fucking ventures that just come with growing up. There's nothing wrong with trying to jack off in a new way as long as it's not shooting it on something that's not yours, coming in something that's related to you, or something you shouldn't be doing because it's illegal. So I'll say that. That's my 2 cents on jerking off. So we go on this big trip. I got shaggy hair. I buy a fucking t-shirt from the ESPN store it's literally meant for a little girl because I thought it was funny for me to have a shirt that was basically just under my tits. Because all it was for was just to make one girl laugh. Like, Charlene, I still love you. If you and Luke ever get divorced and if my wife sees this video and wants to leave me because of it, I want you bad. I don't care if you got a bunch of kids. Come find me. Probably not going to be far. So it gets to a point where on this big trip, it's a lot of fun. This girl, we're like hanging out. And it was like the first time I've ever really seen my buddies hooking up with girls. And my buddy, not so much buddies anymore. We don't talk. My buddy Al is like making out hardcore with this chick. She's on top of him. It's in a fucking charter bus. We got 2 other high schools that came with us. So I'm trying to find a girl. Of course, I'm a little fucking... I'll get something. I got to get something. I'm not the ugliest guy in town. I could afford the trip after my mom had to borrow money from my grandmother. I can afford it. So it gets to a point where Alan has this girl just grinding on him in front of everybody. We're fucking, woo! Fuck yeah, dude! Get some of that shit. We're going crazy. And like, we got to keep it down because, big tits Iker's up front. And we're literally, she's our teacher. I got these inside, like, yeah, fucking Bill Hill, yeah. Iker's up front, teacher. She's the one that I had to do the radio presentation on and got mad because I didn't know how fucking radio worked. Fuck you, bitch. Still don't know. I'll never know. If someone goes, hey, I got a class here at the community college, it's free. It takes about 10 minutes. I'll show you the radio works. I go, fuck you. I don't want to know shit about radio. And so Alan's this very attractive girl. Alan's ugly as fucking shit. Kind of a fat kid. Nothing wrong, not body shaming, but he's just a sloppy looking dude. Not a good looking dude. Pretty funny kid for the most part, but not a hey, the hot chick from another high school is going to rub your dick in front of the whole fucking group. I don't know, for 10 minutes, maybe 8. I didn't really count. And we're just going crazy, so I'm like trying to hit on these girls. I'm flirting with these girls. And it gets to a point where it's so fucking creepy, but it just makes me laugh because I made a comment every single time I thought I was a badass or something, like I'm really cool. Oh fuck yeah. I just in my head I'm telling myself, if you believe you are, you are. That I had always, I try to get myself to a confidence level that I think is somewhat healthy, but I always overcompensate, always do. And I always get shut right the fuck down. And this is a perfect example of that. To a point, it's more just me, it's an innocent thing, but I really thought I was a stud. I truly thought I had turned a corner and I was a fucking stud. I thought it. Wasn't. So I got this, this one chick, she's kind of negging me a little bit now that I look at it. She's kind of negging me. And I got shaggy hair, that little flip in the front. I didn't curl my hair. And we're at McDonald's getting food. And, like a fucking, any emo kid knows this. Any kid that ever had shaggy hair. Every once in a while you kind of got to, flip it off to the side, a little Justin Bieber-esque. And I had to do that all the time because my fucking hair was literally down here and it would flip. So I would never have to comb it. It was just right there, but you kind of have to kick it to the side. And she goes, oh, God. And I go, what's that? Because I'm eating my fucking sandwich. And I go, what's that? She goes, why are you shaking your hair over top of your food? And I go, I don't know. Hair's in my fucking face. And she goes, that's disgusting. I go, it's my fucking hair. What are you talking about? I have no idea why I remember that. I can see that bitch's face to this day. And I will body shame for a second. She put on probably another 180 pounds worth of fucking fat in like 3 years. So fuck you. It was my hair. I'm flipping off the camera quite a bit tonight. I do apologize, folks. So leading into, I'm getting like shut down by every girl because of course I do. I've got nothing to offer these women. I'm not tall, athletic, and black. I'm not short and super ripped. I'm nothing. I'm just a fucking kid trying to fit in and be funny. And so I get the ESPN shirt. My tits are basically the only things covered up. My little gut hanging out. And like on the way back home after this week long trip. It was a blast. I'm glad I went. I still remember a lot of the places we went, like outside the White House, shit like that. It was really a cool time. I actually really enjoyed it. But on the way home, like kids are just exhausted. All of us were tired. I'm laying on the fucking floor of the bus. Like I got a pillow. I just want to stretch out. I can't be sitting in a seat any longer. And I noticed that my foot kind of bumped somebody's foot. And I look down and I go, "Oh, it's Charlene." And next thing you know, she kind of taps my foot again. And so I kind of tap her foot. And then the foot just kind of rests on my foot. And I go, "She's making moves on me." So I'm literally rubbing my foot on her feet. Just I want you to know I felt you. You know, I know that this is underneath the fucking bus seats, but I'm so like in my head this is what I'm portraying as a message as I whittle my feet over top of her shoes and just like really trying to get almost pretty fucking sexual, intricately like rub the feet. And I don't know. I did that for probably 3 minutes, and then I just kind of like I try to like scoot up to her. I realize she is dead asleep. She is fucking snoring, sleeping. I felt to this day, if she ever, if she ever, I never told her. Absolutely never told her. If she ever, she never will. If she were to ever see this, I want you to know I thought we had a sexual moment while you were dead asleep on a bus. Could have been the best 8 minutes of my fucking life. And you ruined it. You married some handsome guy with a bunch of money, you fucking idiot. But it's just such a moment like, oh, it's my fucking chance. I've been shut down by all these chicks. Now the one I really want is rubbing my fucking foot. Hell yeah. No, you're sexually assaulting a girl who's asleep. Yeah, it's an accident. You know, I didn't mean to. It wasn't really sexual assault. I'm not going to admit that in court. But oh my god, just it's one of those few things that I don't like having that memory. That memory's not a good feeling. It made me feel good. I remember the feeling about like how excited I was that I go, she's showing me affection, physical affection. I literally couldn't believe that in my head and my heart I'm going, I've just always wanted her to know how I feel. I want her to know I really like her. I really think that she is important to me. I've liked her since second grade, and it's 6 years later. Going on in high school. I really wanted her to know that. I really wish she could understand that I really just wanted her to be my girlfriend. And so if you fall asleep next to me, I'm going to try to put sexual moves or tension unbeknownst to you because you're dead asleep and you could give a fuck about what I'm doing. That's too bad. I really wish that it would have been a shared and, you know, equal response back, but it wasn't. It was her sleeping and me trying to see if I could wiggle my way up in there, but didn't happen. But that's it's a good time. That was fun. It was a good time in my life. It was, just before a lot of the realities of testosterone and fucking whatever chemicals running through your body and just it starts to change your brain. And you talk about just confusing sexual times. I mean, not so much of like who do I want to fuck. It's just Jesus Christ. I mean, your dick is really running rampant. I mean, it is hard as a fucking. I don't even like doorknob because doorknob. I don't understand the doorknob. It's such a short chode of a handle. This thing's at least 6 inches and just fucking. It's like a what? Well, it's thicker than that. Let me try and sell this a little bit. It's like really thick. It's like a big frozen hot dog. But it's just such a stupid fucking time of life because nothing matters. You don't care. At my age, I don't give a fuck if anybody liked me from high school, if I had an embarrassing story from high school. But that leads into me playing football. Like in junior high, I played football. But like, what are you gonna say? Like, oh, I was whooping ass against kids who never played. Who gives a shit? It was terrible football. But I had a lot of fun. But we get into high school sports. Holy shit, but we're starting to watch myself kind of grow into a man and get a little bit more weight, get a little more confidence, and being able to actually show that I'm not a bum. I'm getting decent grades. Couldn't get a girlfriend to save my fucking life, but that was the best time. Was just playing sports, and you think that a girl not liking you is the biggest fucking problem you're gonna see. Holy shit! But that's so much fun. But I'm trying to think about what's a good next step in this story. So we meet these girls from another high school, and we're all freshmen. And I was telling you guys about the redhead I was dating, or like my first fake girlfriend. We dated, but not really. But like my favorite story about her is that she was always so sweet to me. But it's in that range, seventh, eighth, freshman year. I can't quite remember. Um, she wouldn't let me record us. She she was so fucking nice to me, and like every time I see her and her husband now, I always like want to like a picture because I love her. I think as a person, her husband's a great guy, and she's just such a fucking. She was so nice to me. She's like a fucking foot taller than I was when we were seeing each other. And I remember we're at a hotel. Those girls are at a hotel in a different room, and we just kept calling each other. We'd go down to the pool and hang out. And like, I've always had a little fucking gut. I got my little gut hanging over my fucking shorts. She didn't care. She's still a cute girl too. Nobody cared. She did not care that my body was not good. And I just, oh, I asked her out. I go, "Will you be my girlfriend?" She said, "Yeah." I'm like, holy shit. Nathan got a girlfriend, Mike got a girlfriend, and Matt got a girlfriend, and Matt was the fattest of everybody. He's the fucking least attractive one, and even he got a girlfriend. It was hilarious. He didn't even know the girl's name really. He was like, "Hey, well, they're all dating. You want to be my girlfriend?" She said, "Sure." They never talked the entire fucking time. But me and Marissa, we start like dating, quote unquote, and then we end up getting a ride with our buddy's mom over to a school play. Oh my God. It's Mike hanging out with Anna. It's Nathan hanging out with Jenny, I think was her name. And it's me and Marissa. And I don't even think Matt and this girl were like dating the fucking week after that we went to this high school, this musical together. And we're sitting there, and I'm so fucking nervous. I could not be more scared. It's like when I first met my wife, like there was no nervousness because she didn't like me. I had no opinion of her. I thought she was an attractive woman, but I was a fucking frat guy. I was in college, you know what I mean? No fucking scumbag. We just started things off on a different foot. We just never thought it'd get to that point of like we're gonna date, obviously get married, start trying to have a family. It's just I don't have a nervousness with her, which is great because that actually benefited both of us that we could both kind of be a little more honest with each other. Like, I don't, well, fuck you. I don't want you to do this, or I'm not interested in you doing that ever again. So it really helped us shape a lot of things early, but maybe the honesty actually burned a lot of, burned some bridges down to start that venture. But so back then, I'm, they're all over each other. These guys are all holding hands and like cuddling and shit, watching the show. I am literally, my hands are like so close in my thighs. I'm just sitting there. My hands are just fucking clenched. I'm just squared up like this. I'm like, I don't know what to do because I've never been with a girl. I've never kissed a girl. I've never really hugged a girl. If you think about that in a sense, I've hugged women and girls before. I've never hugged a girl that's gonna be my girlfriend. It's like it's a creepy feel because you make it worse. In your head, you make it a worse thing. And so we're sitting there watching the show, and I'm not even paying attention. I'm just fucking, what the fuck do I do? It's about halfway over. Intermission just got done. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so I finally just lean over and go, hi, hey. She goes, yeah. Can I hold your hand? She goes, what? Because it's fucking. They got a whole goddamn show going on, Shane. I go, can I hold your hand? She goes, did you say can you hold my hand? I say, yeah. Can I hold your hand? She goes, yeah. So we start holding hands. I don't know. 8 seconds goes by, and she goes, I'm gonna have to stop. I go, something wrong? She goes, your hands are so sweaty. I go, and I started giggling. I'm like, yeah, yes. I wipe them off, and I keep holding it in. And I let go, and I wipe them off again. And she started giggling. It was a cute moment, but also just a testament to her. She didn't make me feel like shit. This little clam dog millionaire over here, just I can't stop fucking sweating in her hand. My fucking hand would not stop sweating into her hand, and it got so wet. She goes, I've got to wipe my fucking hand down. Well, I love you too, sweetheart. Oh my lord, but that was a fucking awesome memory just because of all the guys were together with all of their girls and everyone got along. I mean, you talk about a fucking perfect storm of just the boys chasing girls. All the girls were interested enough in at least saying, "Yeah, we're dating," and it wasn't like anybody was cheating on anybody. Nobody got too drunk and hit someone. Nobody was getting a girl pregnant on accident. It's just like really young love and not even close to it wasn't even close to love, but it was just a fun thing to try and see how it went. You know, still high. I hold all of those people, like those females that were there, a couple of the guys, like I hold them in such high regard because like they were part of my best times. You know, a lot of us don't talk because things happen, and I'll get into those stories too about what happened and how things have gone. But you know, you look back in those times, and you don't really give a shit that one of the guys is sending pictures of his dick without without request to family members. You know, you start to see like them for who they were when they were like part of your life on a daily basis, spending nights together. You know, everything about that was. I think high school actually starts to drive friends apart because it's not about staying over anymore. It's about, hey, let's go out for a ride. Let's go get a sandwich and go chase girls around town and hey, have a good night. You know, right before you get your license, it's all about let's stay up all night and play video games together. You know, because you're staying at someone's house over the weekend or whatever. It's not, it's such a fucking hard time to think about because it's such an innocent thing. You go out, you go see your buddies, you're literally just sitting there together. You don't give a fuck about anything outside the house. You don't care about anyone who's calling you because we didn't even have cell phones at that point. I mean, we had them, but a lot of kids just didn't have them yet. And, it's so much fun. God damn it, was it so much fun. So I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how like little boys jerk off together. And this is years before. So I never did that. I never jerked off with my buddies in the same room. We didn't all like have a circle jerk and like not really talk about it, but everybody knew. Didn't have anything like that. But my buddy Al and I, we used to, spend the night. We were very, very close proximity wise, and we'd always ride our bikes in the town and shit. One day he fucking ate shit down the longest gravel hill. His whole leg was just ripped up, and he lost his White Sox hat, and that was the only thing he was pissed off about. But him and I, just going back to the innocence of being that time frame. It's all about staying the night. Jesus Christ! Every time we'd watch a movie and if a pair of tits showed up, he'd hit pause, and we would just rewind and try to find like the perfect spot. And it got to a point where like the movie Species. I don't know if you guys remember that movie. Movie Species had like I think the whole thing was like this really hot blonde chick. Actually, was an alien. She'd get you to fuck her, and she would kill you, or I don't know, infect you with the alien disease, something like that. I don't fucking know. And we'd see this other girl, like the beginning of the movie is like one girl like getting fucked, and she's like making that moaning noise. I don't want to do it because I'm gonna sell it too well, and then I'm gonna get flagged for sexual content. But it was just such a wild like, that fucking animalistic feeling came over us young boys as this girl's getting fake fucked in a movie. And like we rewound that scene 80 fucking thousand times to a point where I think, and I know, I know how I felt physically. I was horny as shit, and fucking Al, he's sitting there just like not talking, just rewind, listen, rewind, pair of tits, listen, rewind, pair of tits, listen. I mean, we sat there for, I'm not kidding you, probably half an hour. We meant to watch the movie. And all we did was just watch that scene for half an hour. Then he's like, I gotta go to bed. He probably went to go jerk off. But I'm just sitting there rock hard underneath his family's blanket, and I'm just going, I can't, I can't jerk off right here. I don't really know how to do it yet, man. I'm just still just, I know it feels good. I know it's hard. It feels really good. But I don't want to do it into your sister's fucking, little nappy. So God, I miss those days so much. Like that time frame of life, I think, is the best. Not even being a little kid where everything's so new and exciting. I think it meant more to me when you see, understand, comprehend, and you can react to it. That's the best time. And you don't have the stress of finances. You don't have the stress of how's social life going. You're with your buddies, no matter what. If you have a friend, doesn't matter if you only had one friend. If you were with them at that age on a weekend, a weeknight, whatever the fuck it would be, you had the time of your life every time. Every fucking time. Because when you think about it like that night for me was just, I'm going to watch a movie at my buddy's house, stay the night. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to have to fucking help his stepdad farm because that's what he made us do. If you stay the night at this guy's house, you're baling hay in the morning or you're scooping grain up, picking up whatever the fuck you're going to do. You're going to help out. But that was the best time. You just sitting there. I got a fucking boner. My pubes are so. God, I got another story. Your pubes are so unkept because you're like, am I gay if I shave them? Well, how do you trim it to begin with? I don't want to fucking nick my bag and open up a whole other world of problems. It's just you got a fucking tidy whities full of pubes and your dick is moving on its own because you're hearing a fucking movie go, just that's not how it sounded. It sounded very sexy if I remember correctly. But God, was that so much fucking fun because you don't even realize it's a memory for somebody. That there's no way he fucking remembers that as detailed as I do. And I don't know why I remember it either. It meant kind of nothing to me up until I started doing this. Now, I thought these memories are not new to me. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about almost jerking off into his family's blanket. But it's just, Jesus Christ, does it like make me smile now that I'm older? Getting to my my later years in my youthful side. But Jesus Christ. So getting the sophomore year, freshman year for sure. But we start playing football and baseball and basketball. I I hate. I think if anybody's walking into their freshman year, say you're relatively decent at the sport, contact sport like this, football. If you're okay, you're okay. Like me, I was okay for a freshman. I wasn't great, but I was okay. But I was undersized. Undersized my whole fucking life, and to see like how I felt my first couple practices because my high school was so fucking small that my JV team practiced with the varsity every day. It did not fucking matter. We played with the varsity every fucking day. And that meant everybody beating the fucking shit. They would just knock us to death. I mean, they would line us up against seniors who were 6 foot and above, and just they would smoke you. I mean, I weighed 135 pounds my freshman year. This kid was 205 at quarterback, just smoking me. He was our middle linebacker and quarterback. And he was nice enough, but he would always do like the practice tackle drills with me. He would pick me up by the butt cheeks and set me down. So I would really try to pick his ass up because he's a big boy for me. Pick him up, set him down. So we did that a couple times for a few weeks. And it gets to about the third week of us doing it together. He kept asking me to be his partner. And I don't know why. I really, truly don't. I think he's a fucking scumbag now, but he would always do that. And, hey, Shane, let's go. It's all right, man. And then, like, the last time we ever partnered up, I pick him up, set him down. I take a couple, steps back. He comes up, picks me up, and he fucking body slams me. You're supposed to just put him down. He fucking body slams me so fucking hard I can't breathe. He knocked the wind out of me. And I'm getting yelled at by the coaches for being slow. And I will never not think about that moment. Because I see him, if I ever do go home. He's just a fucking loser who stayed home and gets drunk all the time. So, as I'm drinking beer, weeknight, or I guess it's Friday, but it feels like fucking Thursday. Oh, but I don't miss going home. But I also hated that time of life because you're so undersized compared to the guys that want to fuck with you. Most guys that are my age or don't fuck with people their age, in high school, the same high school unless you really have a problem. But we're on the same team, all buddies. The only guys that fucking hated me were the guys who were already on their way out. They don't fucking like you. And so I also had my older brother beating the fucking hell out of us too. We had a big kid named Tommy. He looks like a big fucking booger. He is literally, if you took the Cookie Monster and just stretched his ass up, he's got this giant blockhead. He is such a big, big, big dude. He's had bitch tits for his whole life, but not because he wasn't fit. His body was just such a fucking like cylinder, and he wasn't a mean guy, but he definitely wasn't nice. He was definitely willing to hurt you. And these guys would just truck us all day long. It got to a point, so it was like sophomore year, we didn't have a JV team. We didn't have enough kids. So we were technically varsity. All we did was practice with varsity all day long. Freshman year, we actually could have a couple parts of practice that it was just JV, but not the whole practice because you got to get enough kids to play defense on the against the starting offense. So we got some practice in, but we also just got fucked up the whole time. And oh my god, sophomore year was the worst. It got so bad I almost quit. Like they were lining me up at line or at running back, to play the scout running back. I'm not fast. I'm quick. I'll get somewhere quick. I'm not fast. You know, you put a 5 foot flat footed fucking freshman kid at running back. I ran a 5 flat my freshman year. I don't think I ever took another time 40 because it didn't get any better. I got stronger. I got bigger, but I didn't get faster. And so, I'm your scout running back. You wonder why we were fucking terrible. But it got so bad that this kid was, we would switch off every other play just because I would get fucked up and I'm like, you're in. And he would get just wrecked. Shane go back in. So it was just one right after the other. So I remember I fake an injury. I was like, hey, I need another one. Or I didn't fake an injury, but I was like, I just got to take a couple spots off. And he goes up again and he gets the ball right up the middle and Tommy just fucking pummels him to a point where I'm not kidding. He didn't break anything, thank God, but his foot was up by his head. He's just laying there like that. And I go, I guess I'm fucking in. And they gave me the ball and I would just dive to the goal line because it would be different if I was getting better at football. There was no getting better. They would destroy the offensive line. They would run us all over, and we'd sit there and go, why the fuck are we doing this? What is the point of this? And the coaches loved it. And we go out and play. We barely fucking win. We made the playoffs, but very, very lucky. It's also the luck of small town football. You got a group of tough enough farm kids that play on the same team. They don't have to practice against the fucking best of the best because these kids are just tough. Go have fun. But I don't miss those days. I don't miss freshman and sophomore year of high school. I love junior year. I love senior year. But that was just because life was easy. Freshman, sophomore year, that's when you get tested. Your whole testosterone just skyrockets. Right? You start to go be able to drive a car so you think you're cool. You get rejected by the hottest chicks from other towns. It's fucking sweet. But Jesus Christ, I do not miss volunteering my own body to just go, I want to be a football player. I spent 2 years straight basically saying, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I don't think I do. I stuck it out. I played all 4 years. I loved it. But Jesus Christ, man, they just beat the hell out of us. It was not fun. It wasn't a good time. But I don't know. I think I'll save. So the one story I'll finish on because I made a comment because I don't want to forget about it. I'm so bad at going, I'll tell you in a second. Well, who am I talking to? And I never do. This is just more this is my favorite part of growing up, of thinking about how fucking dumb it is, how life can be. I remember as a kid, we always wore whitey tighties, right? Why would we make our underwear white ever? I have no idea. I don't know who's fucking dumb. Most underwear now is colored because I think it just makes more goddamn sense. You get one shitty fucking poop mark on that thing, throw them out. What are you doing? The color scheme is so against what you're doing down there to begin with. For women even, as well, obviously. But women got blood and shit and piss, yeast. I don't know what's going on down there. And then boys got pee and poop. Everything that just stains the fucking white out of it. But I remember wearing the whitey tighty specifically because I thought I was going to cut my dick in half, which is just not a good feeling, obviously. I made a joke earlier about pants are full of pubes, your underwear's full of pubes. You don't realize as a woman what it's like to get used to getting erections. It's not just it's hard. You tuck it and you move it. You got to get used to how to work the hiddenness of it. You got to be your sneakiness with it grows, but also the prep work when you know it's coming gets better with time. It's not just you're good at. Oh, I'm getting a boner. I better do this and then nobody fucking knows. Because in Superbad, he literally goes out, tuck it up in my waistband. I didn't do that because it felt good. Where else are you going to put that fucking thing? It doesn't just lay flat. It's trying to push out. It wants to make itself known. It wants to be this direction. It's fighting you. You got to tuck it up. You got to hide it. So now at least it's the direction it wants to go. It's kind of faced that area, but just bent upward. It's perfect. But I remember I was on the bus. I think Morris is driving. He was an old grumpy cunt. And I'm sitting there, and we're in the middle of the country getting ready to pick up or drop off some girl. And I remember I was getting a boner. Classic young boy thing. And I was just like, just kind of waiting for it. And all of a sudden, it just started to hurt. I'm like, ow, ow. My fucking pubic hair got wrapped around the tip of my dick. And as it's trying to snake its way through the bush, it's just fucking ripping at the hair that is curled hair. It's tough as fucking nails, baby. And it's just, it's, it's like fucking hanging itself almost. It just did, oh my God. It just pushing through the bush. Ow! And it felt like I was cutting my dick with paper cuts. It felt like it was just slicing through the tip of my weenie. And you just don't think that'll ever be a fucking problem, especially at 34. If I see myself getting a little unkept, I keep it up. I keep up with the way it should look for the health of the dick, for the way it looks. I want my wife to be a happy woman, but I also don't want to ever catch my fucking dick in my own pile of pubes. What a weird way to hurt your penis. And then remember it 30 years down the road as I'm talking to that fucking camera about my penis got caught in my pubes. I hope you folks have a great night. I will do a little bit better about getting some of the videos out a little quicker. I hope you guys have a good one.